We do have a Monday night game next week. It's the Bears who somehow snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in the Motor City today against the Lions. Now taking on the Vikings, and the Vikings might feel the same way. How did we lose to the Broncos? How did that happen tonight? They give up a lead late. They lose 21-20, 12 points by the Broncos in the fourth quarter to make that comeback complete. And now they're going to be laying 3.5, and that's what it opens as. It hasn't really moved a whole lot. The Bears did, and I watched a lot of that game today. And Matt Eberflus, I thought he's done a pretty good job taking over the play calling duties defensively for Alan Williams. And they've gotten better defensively. Now, it got bad in the last 4 minutes, but they were really confusing Jared Goff and company for the majority of that game. Now it's the Joshua Dobbs experiment. Fields looked good.
He looked okay. He looked solid. They ran him a little bit more. He had the fumble late that, you're back to pass and they rush him, but 169 through the air, no picks. 104 on the ground. So
how about that?
I thought the Bears actually had a good game plan on both sides of the ball, but better team ends up somehow winning late. And, I think the Bears have been playing a little bit better football of late.
They have. But here's going to be the weird thing. And again, I don't know that this should factor in, but just something to put in the back of your mind for your handicap. It does behoove them now to lose. It really does. Because they're going to get Carolina's pick, and they're going to get their own pick. Mm-hmm. And that could potentially be 1 and 2 in the draft. And I know nobody wants to talk about that or think about that. But Eberflus really doesn't have to worry. I don't think Eberflus is coaching for his job. I could be wrong, but that's a new GM in Ryan Poles that's with him. They're kind of in this thing together. I'd be really surprised if Ryan Poles pulled the plug on Matt Eberflus, right? So they kind of know big picture what they're trying to do. It's almost like I saw somebody saying, well, you guys don't understand. The Bears are playing chess and y'all are playing checkers. Like, this was the perfect game today. They cover the number, but yet they lose.
Yeah, and look, you look at the opening number, 3.5. Like, it seems like a small number, even though Minnesota just lost because they've been on a roll. You're going to have to wait a little bit on this because obviously we're going to have to see injuries. Like, Dobbs obviously stayed in the game and went, but he got banged up a little bit tonight. He got hit pretty damn hard, but you don't really have anybody behind him that's going to go. When will Justin Jefferson be back, with the hands?
The report is he might be able to go in this one next week.
Right.
We've seen an uptick now to that total from 44 to 45.5. I understand that line move, too. I love the Bears on a fast track. Remember, they played this game earlier in Soldier Field when Kirk Cousins was still there. It's a game
it was a slog.
It was ugly, and that's the game that Tyson Bagent had to come in there.
Was it 18-13, I believe,
it was
or
just
something?
An ugly Minnesota win, right? Back in the KC8 days. Feels like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
On a fast track, I can understand why this total has moved up to 45.5, which in 2023 feels like a high total.
It does. And look, primetime unders, what I say was 26-8. This year, we'll see if Philadelphia or Kansas City can stop that run.
It's amazing. People still bet the over, even though the numbers, the trends always go to the under.
Well, you wonder, and that's kind of the game you play with the market. When is water going to find its level? Because eventually the market adjusts.
Yep.
You got some of the best odds makers in the world. Eventually they're going to adjust on something. But sometimes a trend like that continues, and it certainly has so far.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.